the guys from Ping, they've kind of shown me how much the equipment matters.
I just love that I can hit any shot I kind of want.
We're going to be able to tell some fun stories about what goes on here to help golfers play better golf.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Proving Grounds podcast. I am Shane Bacon, joined by Marty Jertz, and Matthieu Pavon is with us. I know the year has been pretty fantastic for you, a big 2024, obviously getting the win at Torrey Pines, but how has this season been for you?
Yeah, it's incredible so far. I mean, just having the opportunity to play here in America full schedule, it's pretty amazing. And as you said, he couldn't start a best way. So a lot of tournaments coming, but yeah, so far it's just incredible.
Age 31, you've kind of followed a little different journey than a lot of players on the tour, right? Kind of, quote unquote journeyman on Challenge Tour, DP World Tour. Not a lot of Americans, knew of you unless they were following, international play quite a bit. How much golf had you played in America leading up to your transition, joining the tour here in the fall and this year?
I mean, not much. The only thing I knew really about America is I came when I was 17 after high school. I practiced for a year in West Palm. We have a French pro over there, Thomas Levet, who played Ryder Cup. One of the biggest names in the French golf. So I spent some time with him in West Palm, and I get to know a little bit the culture of America, how big is sports in America, and also how beautiful and great are the facilities to practice, to be fair. And then more and more growing up, got few quality to play the US Open. Agreement between DP and PGA Tour make me play 2 times the Barracuda Championship. So yeah, little opportunities to play before, but not many.
I mean, you've kind of had your moments stateside over the years. You mentioned being 17, obviously playing in the U.S. Open and playing well back in 2018. I think you had a top 25 that year. Are you now adjusting to kind of the American lifestyle? What do you like about it, and what do you miss about France?
Yeah, it's all about learning. It's slightly different for sure, but I think that country is just such an amazing country for sports and for high performance stuff. The way you guys think, you guys raise your kids, you are raised too, is really different. But
in what ways? Like, what's different in terms of like that specifically? Because I got 2 little kids, so I'm interested in your thoughts there.
It's just so much positivity, really. It feels like nobody has limits. You guys believe, strong beliefs, dreams big, and this is not what we are teach when we home and we grew up. So it's a little bit different, and I think it's just an awesome way to live.
I mean, you obviously become a professional golfer. That's what a lot of young kids dream of being. How were your parents as you were growing up and you were thinking about competing as a junior golfer and then obviously getting into the professional ranks? How was it personally, you going through that as a kid in France?
Yeah, that was nice. I am very lucky that my 2 parents are sports guy. My mom is a golf teacher. My dad played football as a professional. Was captain of the main team of Bordeaux. Won the French championship back in the days. So I was a lot into sports. They had a lot of positivities and values through sport. I think sport teach a lot of great values for life, and this is the way I grew up, and obviously it got me a little bit into competition mind. So no, it was just the right way to grow up for me.
How did your parents, being both in sports and coaches, help formulate how you approach your practicing, structuring your time? I know in your interview after you won at Torrey, you talked a lot about thanking your team. So who is on your team, and what does that look like right now in terms of training, fitness, mental side of things? How do you approach all that?
Yeah, this is the thing I really changed over the last 3 years. When I started on tour, I didn't had a lot of sponsors, and I kind of was a bit scared to really invest all the money I had at that time into a team. But this is definitely what you have to do if you want to get the best out of your game. And I slightly started to build a team. I have an American physical trainer, Ben Shear, who has Ryder Cup players and majors winner. My coach, Jamie Goff, has also Ryder Cup players, and the like 6 or 7 guys back in Europe. We are 3 playing on the PGA Tour. A putting coach, which come from Norway. So I have a lot of
International
yeah,
squad.
it's really international. But in France, like the game is slightly growing, and I think for now maybe we don't have all the right people to teach everything. We have good golf coaches, I'm sure about that, but maybe we are a little bit young into I don't know, into putting or into physical training or whatever, especially for golf. And because you don't have time to take people and try to grow all together, I really decided to invest of what's the best here in America and in different other countries.
When you're building a team, to Marty's point, how do you go? I'm always amazed by this. Like, how do you go about it? How do you find the trainer? How do you find the
Yeah.
coach? Like, are you asking other players who they work with? Like, how does
Yeah.
that go about? As you said,
Yeah.
it's been a big part of your journey the last couple of
So
years.
the thing is, I'm really interested about performance, and when I see people playing great, I try to see what they do great and where they improve the most and stuff like this. And for my swing, I mean, I am a fade player. I always played fade, and I was missing left a lot. And I saw that guy, Jamie Goff, had Andy Sullivan at that time, Ryder Cup player, hitting super beautiful fades, and a lot of great fade players like Brandon Stone at that time, and also Lee Haotong, guys
Yeah.
won on tour and been in the top 100 and even more top 50 in the world. So I was like, okay, that's the type of guy who shaped the ball left to right. So I might have to ask him to see my swing, and this is how we started. Ben Shear, coach of Victor Perez, best French guy at that time, won on tour 2 or 3 times, I think. Close to being in the Ryder Cup. Had that bad COVID year who stopped him, but same. I talked a lot to Victor because he's a buddy of mine, and he saw a change on his physical training with Ben, so got to Ben, and then putting. I saw, like, I just look on my computer who are the best putter on tour and try to see if there is a tendency in between the coach they have and stuff like this. And little by little, this is how I create like a team the last 3 years.
Marty, this is like professional research.
Oh, I
he's
love
like on
this.
strokes
I
gained
love
putting.
this.
Like, these 5 guys work with this guy. Let's go with that guy.
Exactly. Let's notice some patterns
Yeah.
here. That's great. So how long? I mean, obviously you got your win, wire to wire win at the end of last year, end of 23, the victory this year. When did you start putting those pieces in place with your team and start seeing some of the, the different results come out of that investment?
It went like slowly but surely. 2 years ago, I had a good season on tour, get back to race to Dubai, finish like 50 years or something. Then the year after, I got like 40 years, so it was improvement. And we always felt like I was close and capable to win a tournament, but before you actually do it, you don't really know. And this is what I was missing the last few years. And last year I was having like an average year, really average, like pretty close to the same result that I had the past few ones. And we were feeling we were getting close, and finally that win drops, and it kind of give you freedom in your mind, give freedom to your staff, because we all know that we are working in the right direction. We have more, certainties about the work we've put on, and it gives just freedom to everybody. And then since then I kind of keep rolling.
Matt, tell us a little bit about, I think one thing that we find interesting, we've seen this with Matt Fitzpatrick, is the cross-handed chipping. So
Yeah.
tell us the story of how that came to be. It was fun watching you have some of those amazing up and downs at Torrey earlier this year.
Yeah, so the thing is, last year as an amateur, I had yips. I couldn't chip anymore. I was like 30 years in the French ranking and 800 in the world as an amateur, so pretty far down below everybody. So I was almost close to quit golf, because I was sure that without any chipping you can't really compete at a high level. And just before the Q school on the Alps Tour, which is the third division in Europe, I was like, okay, let's try to find something, or I just quit. And
What year is this, by the way?
2014 or
Okay.
13. And I started chipping like one-handed, and I was like, okay, that's better. I don't have yips, but it's like one time short, one time long. When it's straight, is one time left, one time right. So it's like two average. And I was like, okay, I put reverse. I'm gonna try to. I mean, putting is really close to a bump and run with an 8 iron.
Yeah.
So I started with an 8 iron with the same grip as my putting, and I hit few shots, and I was like, okay, I'm not scared to hit the ground. I'm not scared to the contact. I don't see any movement in my hands or whatever. And it started like this: good with the 8, went to the wedge, good with the wedge, 58, good with the 58. I was like, okay, no more fear. So open the face, close the face, draw the ball, flop it, different lies, tight, grain against everything, and I was fine. And all of a sudden, I had, again, that's the word freedom. I had so much freedom because I wasn't scared to miss a grain. And before, every time I had the irons to play, I was marging away from the flag because if I was short-sided, it's pretty much a bogey right away. I wasn't scared anymore to play the par fives in two, because
Would you lay up on purpose just so you didn't have to chip?
I was aiming to some of the traps sometimes because in the
Interesting.
bunkers I was fine.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
if I was missing my shot in two on the par five on the tight lie, it could be one fat, one thin, two putt, and you end up with a six.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was tricky, and also having so much relief from those fears, I just played with so much freedom since then.
Marty, have you ever done it? I know you're a guy that tinkers around. Have you done cross-handed before? Because I do feel like it does spin. I think it spins better if you ever give it a try. You never messed
Yeah,
around with it?
Yeah,
I
I
agree with
just a few times, but not seriously. But I'm tempted. It's one of those things. Matt, Shane and I love coming on and interviewing all of you guys because we end up going back and trying stuff
Yes.
on our own. But
No, it's nice. I mean, as you said, I think, to be fair, I'm not talking about floppy stuff, but really on some really easy things, and just pop up the ball in the air. I think you can really add a lot of spin compared to left, right-handed.
Now, have you ever gone back? Have you ever gone back to see what it looked like the other way?
No, because to be fair,
I don't want to see it.
I'm starting to mastering it
That's
more
right,
and more,
yes.
so I don't want to see how.
It's like texting an ex-girlfriend. I was like, I don't know how they're doing.
It is. I have less fear than before, so I can wedge, because before I was also very scared on two shots about like 40, 50 yards. Now I kind of play them normal, so it's fine. But I won't ever go back to normal grip.
for the everyday golfer, we now have a club for that. It's called the chipper.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's
well,
heavy, lightweight.
it's
You can do
fantastic.
cross-handed putting, and so you got the listener has some options out there now.
Yeah.
How did you learn English? I'm always interested about this with international players because A, you obviously got to learn another language, and B, you've got to feel comfortable enough doing stuff like this.
Yeah.
When did you learn it? How did you learn it? And when did you start to feel comfortable enough to speak publicly?
Yeah, I think it's just high school.
Yep.
I think also that's bad because I'm just shooting at my country. But I think the way we learn English in France is probably not the best. It's really like, theory. It's like learning a lot of words, but not really talking and using
Right.
it. So I think it kind of sucks because you have to practice it, you have to talk, you have to use it. Instead of just learning lessons and writing, on paper. But I think I had good basics, and after I went to America for a year when I was 17, and when you're kind of alone in the new country, there are no way you can escape. So
Right.
you have
You
to
can't
try.
fake it. You got to learn it.
No, you have to learn it. You have to talk to people, or at least trying. And this is by trying and making mistakes that you become better. It's like in golf and everything. And this is the way I learned it more and more. And afterwards, when you become professional and you travel so much, the only language you really talk is English.
I was thinking about your country specifically with golf, and I was thinking about how old you must have been in '99 during that Open Championship. I'm assuming you were 6, 7 years old.
7,
What was
yeah.
it like consuming the Van de Velde experience, and what did that do for you in terms of wanting to continue to play golf and get obviously into the competitive side?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't looking the TV at that time. I wasn't really into golf. I really have a look on what happened with Jean only maybe 10 years ago.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, It is really sad to see a finish like this, but at the same time, it's also inspiring because what he has achieved this week was pretty big, and we don't have any French golfer major winners so far.
Yet.
And the guys who get that close, like Jean and Thomas Levet, also who lost a playoff against Ernie Els, is really inspiring, and it is really those guys who drives you.
Yeah. Matt, I want to go back a little bit to your chipping and look at your wedges, right? And your wedge setup is a little unique compared to other tour players
Okay.
because you play a 58 degree,
Yeah.
right? And then you play a 52 bent to 51.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of folks would look at that, including myself, and go, boy, that's a big gap. And
Yeah.
then you have more clubs down at the bottom end of your bag, which we'll talk about.
Yeah.
Right. So have you always played kind of a 52, 51, and then a 58? And do you feel like you have the ability to control your speed and your distances to be able to, cover any gaps that might have as relative to other players that have, a 48, 52, 56, 60, for example?
Yeah, that's a good question. I thought a lot about maybe adjusting this. It's just the way I grew up. I grew up the last 15 years using just a 52 and a 58, so you get more and more comfortable with two clubs. I've been trying a little bit of 56 in the middle, just get something a little bit different, like 50, 56, and 58 or 60. And the thing is, it felt like I had almost too much options. So I didn't know which shot I should choose. Like, should I
Gotcha.
play a little 56 or a full 58 or a stronger 58 or a strong 56 or small 52? And I was like, oh, same for the chipping. Should I use the 52 bump and run or should I just play a 56? Or I was a bit confused, and I was like, I have too much options, which sometimes is not great because when you're on the chip, it's either the 52 or either the 58. It's either high or low, let's say. So I don't know. It's just the way I felt it, and I always like to have like a hybrid or 3-iron or even both in my bag. So it might change because I'm sure there are tournaments where it's better to have 3 wedges.
Yeah.
But for now, I just feel comfortable this way.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's so interesting because, again, I mean, I feel like 4 and even 5 wedges at times have become popular on the PGA Tour. And to kind of simplify it, I do see players a lot of the time, and I'm not talking about pro players, but, amateur players, even good amateur players, and you almost see them always carrying the 2 or 3 wedges up to hit a chip shot around the green. And I think sometimes the commitment is tough to really feel like you know exactly what kind of shot you're saying, and you're simply going, this club's the low one, this club's the high one. You know exactly what club you're pulling when you're hitting certain shots.
Yeah, it's more like this. But as I said, I think I might go to a 56, sorry, at some point because I think it is really nice in the traps. To be fair, 56 is really nice club in the traps, and also like for some wedging, give you like some like good numbers, 1 or 2 good numbers.
Yes.
So yeah, it might change. It will depend probably on the golf course I play.
Your cross-handed chipping, at what yardage do you switch over? Because Matt Fitzpatrick says it's right like exactly 50 yards. So
Yeah,
what's your transition
it's pretty
look like?
close to Matt. I think the farthest I practice is like 60 carry. But I don't, to be fair, when it goes to 60, I'm already back with the normal grip. But yeah, most of the time is like I used to practice like 5 balls every distances, every 10. So I go 58, 20, 30, 40 yards. And then it was 52 with I'll do again 40 yards and then 50, 60. And then from there I stop. I just go back to a 58 in normal grip.
I always love to ask players kind of goals for the year. I mean, you've already won on the PGA Tour. You played great at Augusta National. Did you have to readjust some of the goals for this season after you did so much early in the year?
Yeah, it's not. We haven't really adjusted anything. It's just that I set up goals when I started the year, and I tried to go down the list and make them all.
How many have you checked off thus far?
I think almost
all of them. Just hang it up for them. I won't play the rest of the year.
I wanted to get a win either here in America or back in Europe if I come back play later this year. So it's done. I wanted to make top 70 on the FedEx. So I think I'm pretty
okay
safe
on that.
with that. I wanted to make a cut in the major. cut in the major. So yeah, it's pretty much all done. But after I'll have more goals about like process goals, and those ones are never really done because I really wanted to put more work and get better preparation before tournaments.
Okay.
So this never stops. So yeah, actually, I think after Hawaii, I had nice top 10 there, and I said to my team that one of the goals I wanted to put in the list too was to become rookie of the year. So that would be something I'd be chasing till the end of the year.
Be a good race right now for rookie of the year. I bet if you
Yeah,
kind of looked
man.
at some of the players, a lot of first-time winners right
Yeah,
now. on the
it's
PGA Tour.
I think it's great. Even if you're not like 22 anymore, you're 31 and rookie on the PGA Tour. It's a nice goal. That would be really awesome to get it. And I mean, yeah, the race is on with a lot of great players. Jake Knapp, super nice player. He's the
Yes.
guy who was sitting right next to me at the integration weekend with the PGA Tour in Hawaii. So yeah, it's just fun. It's a fun race.
Yeah. Matt, how much do either you or your team are into like statistics? Do you guys deep dive on that front, strokes gain stuff in different areas of the game, or are you more focused on your process goals and your results, or are you factoring that in, looking at
I'm
some
really
stats?
more into process with my team. Try to practice the best. Try to be very efficient. But the stats are here. I have a guy who does my stat in France. For me, collects all my putts, low side, high side, long, short, whatever. Collects everything. So it's more like a tool that I use with my team to see where my game is, if we see any trends, and how we can adjust them. For example, putting is really important for me because the infos we got, I just give them I just give them to my putting coach,
Yeah.
and we tweak the programs because I'm the guy who every Monday, every Tuesday, every Wednesday, I have the same exercises to do. So Monday, I have five exercises to do. It's like one really basics, checking aim, ball start, and then after I compete. It's a lot of games where you have to hold putts. So every Monday, same program. Every Tuesday, same program. Every Wednesday, same program. And depending on the stats, we kind of adjust. Like,
Nice.
have I missed a lot of short putts? Have
Yep.
I struggled from far distances? Have I missed a lot of putt low or high side?
Yeah.
And this is how we tweak programs, and we adjust from tendencies we see.
What's travel like been like this year? I mean, are you traveling? Are you hanging out with players that are international players, European players? Do you have guys you play practice rounds with each and every week? Are you kind of seeing who wants to go out and play? How's that been this year on the PGA Tour?
Yeah, I didn't know what really to expect. The thing is, I had the same schedule than my two French fellow players, Barjon and Perez. And by winning early, I didn't share a lot of time with them, so I got a little bit alone. But anyway, on my schedule this year, I really tried with my staff to make sure at every tournament I had someone with me. So either family comment, either putting coach, either trainer, either physio or whatever, to make sure I'm never alone.
Gotcha. Makes sense. How about we haven't asked you about the Olympics yet. I can only imagine you were talking about goals for 2024.
That was
would've
one
been
of the goals. I forgot.
Very, very high on
That
your
was
list.
one of the
Feels
goals.
like you're headed that way, but I mean, you think about Ryder Cup years for your European players, and you think about I got to make the Ryder Cup. But to have an Olympics in France and you're playing the way you've been playing, what is that like? Kind of imagining that moment as you kind of get prepared for later this year.
No, this is unbelievable. I can't be proud enough to be part of this. Olympics is huge. I watched them since I'm a kid. I even had the PlayStation game when I was younger. It was Athens, yeah, Athens.
Athens.
That would have been
So
what,
Athens,
I
yeah.
wonder what year that was.
I
Yeah.
don't know, 2000 something, but yeah. So we grew up with this, watching it on TV with my parents, my brother. So it's just so cool to be part of it, and also part of the French, athletes. We have so many great athletes with a lot of medals. So being part of that family is pretty special, and even more when you're gonna represent your country on your home soil.
What's the golf course like there, and what do you think the world's going to think of just the atmosphere for the Olympics this year?
I'm not sure. I don't know, like how big could be the crowd over there. The thing is, the golf is a little bit outside Paris, so it's not like the best place in the world to host, I would say, a golf tournament. But the golf course itself is awesome. I mean, we had the Ryder Cup over there. It's really nice golf course. It's tough. It's gonna be a very good test for sure. The only bad thing for me is like I never play great over there. Maybe six French Open and made the cut once.
Well, this is different though.
So
It's the
this is it's different. It's Olympics and no cuts. So
That's right.
this is for sure one I'm not gonna miss. But no, I think it's gonna be also playing different because it's in August, and the past few years we've been playing the French Open a little bit later in the year, more towards September and October when it's wet. So no, I think it's gonna be nice. I think all the players gonna like the place.
You better hit it straight, right? That's the goal there. I feel
Yeah.
like that's a golf course where you better hit it on a string. You're
It
gonna be in
looked
some
like it.
serious
Yeah,
trouble.
you have a lot of water, and that stretch 15 to 18, it's pretty tough.
Yeah.
Probably one of the toughest in the world, I would say.
Matt, I want to talk a little bit about your gear, your driver.
Yeah.
One thing we've seen with it, that our drivers become very forgiving is that players can play them longer. We're a big fan of doing this with our everyday golfers at the Ping Proving Grounds when they come in with our max 10K. That now, because it's so forgiving, you can play it a little bit longer. I'm very interested looking at your specs of your driver. You play it at 46 inches.
Yeah.
Right at the limit. How did that come to be, and was that an idea you had, one of your team? Were you trying to get a little bit more speed, a little bit more distance? What's the story behind 46 inches as your spec?
So it started with just trying to get the middle of the face. I don't know why, but at a moment in my career, I had a lot of hills.
Yeah.
So we started to cut the driver to get a different club and try to get more center shot. And in the end, it was almost the opposite. I was still doing hills and hills and hills. So I kind of get back to a normal driver. Started to hit it better, and 2 years ago, I was just trying to. It's always a club that I've hit it pretty straight, and we were looking for a little bit more speed. And I was like, okay, should we try a different shaft, or should we try, I don't know, just shutting the face a little bit, because I felt like I was swinging the club harder and harder, and in the end, the option we had is just to lengthen the driver to create a little bit more speed and not touching the loft or the shaft, and I found out that it was perfect for me. I got a little bit more speed, and which is more impressive is that I started to hit the ball more in the middle of the face.
Yeah, more. So you're using the length a little bit. You started to get to work on your centeredness of contact. I think one other interesting thing you do is you play the driver in our flat position.
Yes.
So it's 3 degrees flat. It's in our flat dot position. So hopefully by now, Shane, the listeners know that the PGA Tour average driver length is not 44 and a half like
Right.
it used to be.
Yeah.
You know, we got winners
Pushing the
like
limits.
Matt, and you playing it right at 46 inches is quite fun.
Yeah. As I said, I don't know. It's funny. Like, I struggled for years to really get the middle of the face with the driver, even if I was hitting the ball quite straight. And all of a sudden, we kind of had more length to get. First, we wanted to get a little bit more speed
Yeah.
and a little bit more distance, and then in the end, it ended up that I had more speed and a better contact. So
Yeah.
it was the right things to do.
I know you're a tattoo guy.
Yeah.
We got a tattoo in mind coming up soon, like a new tattoo. You gonna throw one up like at the end of the year, something like that?
Yeah,
Olympics, maybe? Olympic rings?
Yeah, Olympic rings. Yeah. So
I know that's been popular from the
yeah,
players.
it is popular. Yeah, so
Where are we gonna go with that?
it's tough. I don't know yet. I don't know yet.
It's a moment by moment thing.
Yeah. No, I don't know yet. I got like not many empty spots now, so I might go down on the legs now.
When did you get into tattoos, and why were you into them? Was it a young age thing?
I think because it's definitely not something who comes with a golf player. But my dad, as I said, was a soccer player. I don't know, it comes maybe from that side. Every soccer player back in Europe is tattooed. So it started like this, and I don't know, It's really addictive. You make one. It was like more a teenager thing. I mean, I was 22, but it was more a teenager thing. Let's say you get one and you're like, yeah, I like it, and then I'm gonna go
Get
up,
another one?
and then I get another one, and it never stops.
Do you have a favorite one?
No, I don't. To be fair, yeah, I mean, yeah. Actually, I have my favorite one is I have one on my ankle. It's my son's name and is the time of his birth.
Very, very
So
cool.
that's the one, yeah.
Very cool.
Very cool. Matthew, tell us a little bit about your first trip to Augusta. You finished tied for 12th.
Yeah.
Awesome week that week. What was some of your favorite memories, and how did the experience of playing there compare to maybe what you imagined? Right.
Yeah, so that's a special week, which is crazy. Is like I went there the week before, practiced 2 days with Shane Lowry, and I was really surprised because it was looking so open. Like I arrived at that clubhouse, went on the first tee, and I was like, wow, it's really open. I can see the second green down below. Everything looks so open. You can see the holes, under the trees. You can see everything. And really surprised, obviously, by the hills and the slope. When you go up on the first tee, you see the first, and you're like, wow, okay, there is like that massive ball and goes up.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was really special, and Shane was laughing at me and said, "Yeah, wait till next week. You'll see it's not that open." And he was totally true because when you show up on Monday, it's already I don't know like more than 20,000 people that day, and you can't see any holes. It's just like full of people right to left, and it makes the thing much more tighter and just an awesome place. It's really surprising. The first day of the practice round is really surprised myself. So it was good to go the week before, get a little bit of taste, because the Monday was really special. It was like when you bring a kid to Disneyland, it was exactly the same feeling. But yeah, I mean that was a crazy week. You can really feel that place is special when you hit the second shot into 11.
Yeah.
From you start on the Amen corner 11 second shot, then 12 and 13. You're like, wow, okay, this is like the coolest 3 holes in the world.
Yeah.
What I find so interesting about players at the Masters is you guys aren't going to go to merch tents at normal golf events. You guys aren't going to go shopping at normal golf events. But at the Masters, especially a first Masters, you might go shop. You're going to buy stuff for your family.
True.
Did you shop?
I did, yeah.
So was the receipt substantial?
Well,
Not all your Tory money?
not a very small amount of my Tory money, but it was I mean, you have so many things to buy. I don't know how many flags you get, like 20, 30 flags. Everybody wants one.
Yep.
So flags are big. Then you get inside and you see all the different shirts you can get. You have all the different sweater, different style, like sporty. You get the nice cashmere. You got everything. Then you go to clubhouse, different logos, special
for sure.
ones, tea pocket, like a book with where I write my notes with the Masters logo. It never ends up.
I wonder, so like idiots like me that go to the Masters have friends that text and say, buy me a shirt.
Yeah.
Do you get friends that text you and say,
Oh, yeah.
buy me this, buy me that?
Yeah, I have friends, and not only friends, I have everyone.
You get like a random number on your phone, like, I don't know who this is.
Do you have guys you haven't seen for 10 years and say, oh, can you grab me a flag when you come back? It would be
I guess
really
I'll
much
do that
appreciated.
for
I
you.
was like, well, yeah, okay, I grab a flag.
Well, we really appreciate the time. It's been great chatting with you. It's been fun watching you play this year. I mean, the game has been solid, obviously not just at Torrey Pines, but kind of throughout the season. And we'll be rooting for you not just the rest of the year, but into the Olympics. That's going to be really, really special. So thanks for the time.
No, pleasure anytime. And it's really a pleasure to be part of that pink family.
This is the Proving Grounds Podcast.